Hi, this is Wes from W Farmstead. So, what we got going on today is we got the YS640 here, the Yoder YS640. The version that I have here, what it has is during when it's really cold out and stuff, you'll hear the bearings on these fans squeal. And so what Yoder did is Yoder came out with an upgrade that you can purchase. Now I purchased this one through All Things Barbecue, as you can see, All Things Barbecue. Cover up the, so, but, so what we need to do is there's two fans in here. You've got one that's right here and then one that's internal, and we're going to go on and swap those out, but first thing we're going to do is we're going to go on ahead and open this up, because I haven't even taken a look at to see what's in it. So okay, these were a couple extra things that I grabbed. They're fireboard grill clips. So there's some times where I want to see what the actual temperature is in the grill itself. So here's the kit. Here's part of the kit. So it's got bolts if we want to replace the bolts that I'm going to take off. It's got a silicone sealant, and it's got the excuse me, it's got the gasket. If we need to replace the gasket, we'll take a look. And then, of course, it's got the instructions right here. All right. So, take a look at these. Man, these fans are pretty hefty. So, here's one of the fans, and they're actually rather heavy for fans. They're still, as my mom would say, Made in China. Okay, made in China. But they are actually pretty hefty. So, and if you notice, it's got, if you can look on the top, it's got airflow. So airflow flows this way. So that's something while we're doing the work that we're doing, we'll have to pay attention to, is airflow. So I want to pull this one open. Same thing, man, these things are a lot heavier. And you got airflow. Same thing, you see the airflow going this way. So sorry about that. If you hear the noise, the air conditioner for the house just turned on. Yeah, I know. Middle of April, or what is it? Yeah, middle of April, and we got the air conditioning on the house going on. It's rather warm here in Oklahoma today. It's about 80 some degrees. So when you're doing this, what we have to do is, Tanya, if you come around over here, we have to take these bolts that are around here off, and we have to pull off this end. Now, if you look down in here, maybe Tanya can get a view down in here. She can. What you want to do is be sure the pellets are below this, in this silver area. That silver area is basically the hopper area, and the anything that's black and above is your outside area. So we want it down in the silver area so that when we pull off the end, we don't have pellets go all over the place. Okay? I believe these are supposed to be 5/16. So I'm going to go on ahead and pull every one of these. And wow. And drop everything else on the floor if you didn't hear. But, so let's go on ahead and lift this up, and let's go on and pull these. So I'm just kind of loosening them in a hurry. And yes, I do have the power cable right here. Usually what I do is I fold up the power cable and put it in with the pellets when I'm done after smoking. And the reason why I'm going on and doing this now, because it is a Sunday. And I don't know if this microphone's hearing me too well. Put it down here. But when you put this in, you're going to silicone an area, and they want you to wait 24 hours before you use the grill again, or before you use the smoker again. So we probably won't use the smoker again until next week or next weekend. So it's a perfect time to go on and do this. That way the silicone has plenty of time to set up. Okay, so I'm just going to go on and loosen these up. Yeah, I guess I could have cheated and made it a lot easier and
Got the electrical tools out?
yeah, got the electrical tools out. I probably should have, but you know how that goes. So I forgot my I usually have those Harbor Freight little magnetic trays, and I forgot one. And Tanya has a little hint on her phone. She has a magnetic back, and it holds the all the screws in place. So that's a little quick tip. Okay, so let's take and pull this thing off. All right, so when you take a look at this, you got two purple cables right here. These are to the fuse, and it doesn't matter which orientation they have. So let's go on and pull one, and there's two. Now the next ones are, you've got a white, and then you have a green. Green always goes towards the smoker right here. Okay, so we take and we pull green off, and then pull the white off. Okay, so there we go. So we got it off. All right, so let's go on ahead, and we want to pull off this deflector right here. So what you have to remember is, if you look at it, the deflector is towards you, leaning up. Okay, so we go on and pull this off. Now, something they are going to do is they do give you new bolts in the kit right here, and you know, these bolts are fine. Why swap them out? You can save those for when you need them again. Okay, so I want to put that over here, and then we put this like that. So next thing we got to do is we need to turn this over. Okay, and then we'll go on ahead and take off these bolts that are holding the fan on. Now when I pull this up and off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the new fan, same position and orientation as this fan, and then I'll just put this over and then screw it back on. So I make sure that I get the orientation and airflow all correct. Okay. Now that's just for me, because I can be stupid. All right. Okay. So pull this up and over. I'm just putting it like that. So if you come here and look, you can see this gasket is here. And honestly, the gasket looks fine. So I'm not going to replace it with the new one. I'll just go on and leave it the same. Okay?
New Yoder.
Yeah, since it's still new. Now, if you look at it, if you look down through here, I can see that the connection for the power comes right through there, if you can see it. Okay, so if I lift it up, it shows airflow flowing that way and power up here to the left. So I take the new one and I sit there and match it up. So, oh, it's not exactly matched up, but to put this up here, so it's showing airflow over here, which airflow is going down on this one, and you want the connections right up here where this one is. So it's not exactly the same, and you notice, look, difference between the fins. Look at how many more fins this one has than this one. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fins, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fins, basically. Okay, so you want to be sure they're the same. See the way the hookup is? And you check it there, and you can see the airflow is that way, and this one, airflow is that way. So you go right like that. We put this one back there, and I'll move this one over to the side. And the reason why I'm putting this over here to the side right here, if you look down, is because this way I know the orientation that came off of here in case I mess something up. Okay, so let's go on ahead and put this back. What I'm looking for is the holes. So there we go. So I've got the holes down. Orientation's all the same. At least I hope it's all the same. You know how that goes. Oh, unless you get a fat finger under there and knock it out. There we go. It sure isn't going finger tight, put it that way. So, all right. Now remember, this is plastic, okay? So you snug it tight, but not over tight, all right? So there's that one. And you are creating your threads as you go down, it feels like. Okay, so that's snug, that's snug. That's snug. This is going down. Okay. I'm just checking it. I don't want to do it too much. Boom. Okay. Okay. So, I take a look. My two connections for the fan is on the top. You want to remember, green goes on that inside, white goes outside. So there's green, there's white. Okay, here's your two purples. It shouldn't matter which side the purple, it's just a flow through connection. Okay, now remember, this is the way I'm doing it, okay? So, if I turn this up the same aspect, you can see the airflow is going in. Turn this up, you can see right here, airflow is going in, okay? Now, here comes the fun part. So, as you can see the silver part here that I was talking about, and I got a fly buzzing around here already. But you can see where I've got pellets down in here, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of clean this out in a hurry with the shop vac. All right, so here's the other fan that we have to swap out. Hopefully you can see it right here. Can you see down here? Okay, if you notice right here, these two are basically almost even the way they sit, okay? The reason is there's a little piece behind this fan. It's a little shroud that we have to take out with the fan, and that's where the silicone's going to have to go on. So if you look here again, right here, come on down here, you've got the white facing out, green facing in, okay? Fan direction is going in. So let's go on and pull the white and pull the green. Okay, as you can tell, this is outer fan, inner fan, all right? And then here's your purples right here for the fuse. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put under here, lift under here, okay, and try and break that silicone seal, which I've done. So when you pull this out, you want to kind of look at how it's in, okay? So if you look back in here, come on down here, you can see right here's your igniter, and then here's your wires to the igniter, right here, okay? So what you want to do is, if Tanya scoots back a little bit, you want to be sure these wires to the igniter go through this area when you put it back in, okay? And if you come down here, you can see the silicone right here, okay? See all the silicone? So we're going to try and clean that all out here in a minute. So I'm just going to set this up here for right now, and I'm going to go on. I'm sweating like a pig, which is an oxymoron. You know how I am about that. But I'm going to go on ahead and take a putty knife here and try and clean this all out. All right, the reason why you want to clean that all out is because you want the that when I put the silicone on it, go back in and seal down, okay? Kind of lift these out of the way. Okay, so, all right, let's go on and vacuum that all out. Okay. Okay. What's that for?
To wipe it out.
Oh, I'm not really worried about wiping it out. It's all.
So that seal is good.
Okay. So I'm taking disinfectant wipes and wiping it out, because you know how it is. When your wife tells you to do something, you do it. Okay. I've actually got a little bit still in there. Can you hand me that putty knife over there? Okay. So, got a little bit right there. Try and scrape it out. And then I've got a little bit right there. Yeah, before you do this, you may want to let your fingernails grow a little bit. I'm just kidding, okay? Okay. All right. So, get this up here kind of out of the way. Okay, so that goes right there, so it'll go through there. And then this, I'll put this up here for right now. Okay. Yeah, see how dirty that got? Okay. So, need to go through and clean all the silicone off of here, which there's not that much. Okay. All right. So now we need to do, which hopefully I can do, this thing. It's got real small man, that happens to be a real little Phillips. This one can't get through it. Okay, so what you can do, okay, so that's going to be fun. So I'm going to have a little bit of fun with this. So what happens is you have got a, wow, that one's a little bit bigger. I'm surprised. You've got a little bit bigger. You've got a Phillips screwdriver on this side, and then you've got a nut on this side. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4 nuts along with the Phillips. So what I've got to do is I've got to find the actual nut size that I need, or the actual size that I need. So it ends up being a 11/32 is the ding ding on it. So okay, and that's a 3/8 inch drive, so I can do this. So this is, so if you take a flathead and you can get it in right here, so I don't know if you can see, you can get it in so it'll hold, especially if you're using a socket on the other end. Okay, so the other thing that we need to look at here is, if you're looking, you got the electric hookups down to the right, okay, and then airflow is going in. Okay, so it's that way. So when it goes, when it's in there, it's like this. Okay, so airflow is flowing in. Okay, and you look and you got your connections on the upper right. Okay, so in this case, the way I'm doing it, it's on the lower left, or lower right. Yeah, I don't know my right from my left at times, so it's a little bit awkward. So I don't think you need to be bored with this, but the main thing is be ready. This came off. Be ready, because in order to get through this hole up here, you're going to have, if you don't have a smaller Phillips, you're going to need a smaller Phillips that can get down into here, which I don't happen to have one here. So you can use a flathead, which is what I'm doing here, to just put it down into half the Phillips and work. Okay. Okay. So I'm on my last one right here. I'm going to pull it off. Something I always tend to do if Tanya comes around here, I try to keep my screws and everything in order. Okay. Screws, nuts, bolts, whatever. I try to keep them all in order when they come off. Okay, so we take a look. I've got power down in the bottom right. Okay. Flow is going that way. So I've got flow. You have to look on this side going that way. Power in the bottom right. Okay. So the hardest ones then, so notice I keep this the same so I have a reference to go back to. Because you know what? I can be pretty stupid at times. So,
You don't want it blowing the wrong way.
yeah, I don't want it blowing the wrong way. And look at this, man. This thing's supposed to... There we go. This thing doesn't want to go in there. There we go. Now it's going down in. But you can see, if you can see right there, how I've gotten a flathead into a Phillips, which I know a majority of you know this. So, now, okay. So, remember, bottom right for the power, bottom right. Put it through. And then take and put the nut on, which with my big fingers don't usually go on real good. Wow, look at that. It actually went in there pretty easy. So, like a dummy. Go on and hold this. So, okay. So, here's the fun part. Getting that out. Okay, so.
Now to do the rest.
Yep, now to do the rest of them. There's that one, top. So take and put this one on. Hopefully. There we go. So I don't know if you can see. I'm not tightening them. I'm just snugging. Okay. So I'm going to put this one in. And then this nut right here. And then, there it is. Had to move that over. Put that down in the bottom. And then, these bottom ones are a pain because you got this part right here. So, generally what you end up having to... Takes a little bit to get that flathead screwdriver through there too. So, there we go. Maybe. Okay. So, next step we got to do is, since we're not using our screws that are in here, but we're using our silicone. So this is going to be kind of fun to put in there. So, yep, so here's my silicone. I'm going to take and, of course, poke the hole in it. There we go. Now what you have to do is put a really generous bead all the way along it. Whew. Boy, I forgot what silicone smells like. Wow. Okay, so I will say something right now. I have read the instructions. Okay, because I know Tanya's going to mention that. So you know, I have read the instructions and I'm following the instructions on what to do. And that's how I know that you have to wait at least 24 hours for the silicone to adhere. So we're getting ready to put this back in. The main thing with this is this slot here. When you're putting it back in, you got to be sure that the
Let me hold that up.
nope, you got to be sure that the wires that go to the thermostat or the igniter there go through that half moon. Okay, and the other thing is you don't want to drop it too soon. If you do, oh well, you're trying, and this is, we're trying. There we go. Okay, so we got our wires through the half moon. All right, so we are right there. Make sure that we're even over here. If you come on over here, make sure that we're even. And my gosh, I did end up getting a bunch out there. Look at that. I can clean that up later. But
Don't touch everything with your silicone hands.
well, what I'm trying to make sure of is I'm seeing silicone come out, which I'm seeing silicone come out through there. Okay.
Those are the holes that you're supposed to.
Yep. Yeah, there's going to be some coming through there. So it's in there. So let me probably a good idea to have paper towels on hand. Okay? So that you can wipe off your stupid mistakes. Okay? So here's our first one. Okay, so here's our hookup. Remember, green goes inside towards the smoker unit itself. So I'm putting on green. Okay. And then white goes on the outside. There we go. So green and white. There we go. Okay. So here's our outers. So I can tell you this doesn't always go in perfect, so please bear with me. Okay. So first I'm going to do is put the two purples. There's one. There's two. All this is a continuous flow in electric. Yeah, you don't want to ask me. I don't know much about electric. But all this is a flow back and forth. So it doesn't matter which side it gets on. As long as it can move through here, it's fine. That's why you have the fuse. So now we've got the hookups up here on top. Right here. You may want to come over on this side, Tanya. Okay. So green goes towards where the smoker is. It's going to be right there. And white goes to the outside. Okay. So everything's in there. Now here comes the fun part. It does not always. You see people always putting stuff back in here. Oh yeah, that fits right back in there. No, it doesn't always. Okay. So, where's your phone? Right there. Okay. Is this the one I need? Hopefully. Yeah, it is. Okay. So all I'm doing is basically snugging down. Okay. Once I get everything in there, once I get everything lined up, then I'll tighten it down. Okay. Okay, so I've got everything in, so I'm just basically tightening everything. You don't want to over tighten these, okay? You just want to make sure they're snugged up really good. Okay. All right. Oh, man. Do you see what I forgot?
Oh, that thing.
Yeah.
You gotta take the whole thing apart again.
So I get to take it all apart.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta love it, you know? So Tanya will pause it and I'll take this off to make a stupid mistake. So make sure you follow, you be careful, okay? Okay, so I've got all the bolts out of it. Again, and of course I'm an idiot. So what needs to happen is this needs to be put down into here. So it's the same thing. We are actually in this plastic, actually it's kind of aluminum, it feels like. You're actually creating threads. So don't over tighten it. Oh, don't. Yeah, well, it's going to make me. Yeah, don't be an idiot. Okay? It's easier to do it right here.
Before you put it all back.
Before you put it all back together. Yeah, don't be stupid like I was.
Just oops. It
Okay.
happens.
Yeah. Just don't put the SH in front of it. Okay, same thing again. Green goes towards the inside. White goes outside. Come on. It isn't always the easiest thing. I probably should have put the white one on first. There we go. And then, of course, put your two purples on. Okay. Now that I'm a dummy. Now, this isn't always the easiest thing to put on. So. Helps if you have the nut driver. And going through the same thing. Okay, so now that I've fixed my big screw up, so you know, hey, watch this. Hopefully you learn from the mistake I made, but it's not that bad. It's really easy to do. Just all I can say is take your time and be sure you have a 5/16 inch nut driver. And like I said, just take your time and do it, you know.
Narrow screwdriver.
Yeah, and a very narrow screwdriver, or get yourself a flathead that you can actually take and hit and knock through the shallow holes on those on these fans and stuff. Okay, but so it's in there. It's going to sit for a week, and what I'll do is I'll try it out next weekend, and we'll let you know how it goes and see how it does. But that's definitely what you have to do is you have to let it rest for 24 hours to let that silicone set up and dry and everything, to hold that bottom, that fan housing in there. So, but besides that, it's just another thing doing on the farmstead. So y'all have a good one and take care.